Hey, good news.
What's good news?
They just did a huge study of like 600,000 undergraduates
What'd they find out?
Phails at philosophy.
that if you study philosophy, if you take a philosophy class, you learn to think better.
Really?
Yeah.
You learn to think good. They did a study with
Yeah, there's just
how many? 6,000?
I think it was like 600,000.
600,000.
Like they just basically who took philosophy classes, how did they do on these various things of
they brought in
intellectual
other
development,
data.
put it in comparison with like mine. Like
When did
people
this just come out?
It just came out in I think it's the APA journal. There's a blog entry on it on The Conversation, and I've seen a lot of things. I want to go read the actual study now.
Philosophy makes you learn good.
Yeah. So philosophy makes you do knowledge work better. Yeah.
There's a reason we were doing this.
Yeah. So
I watched what was it?
take
No, I
some
did
philosophy classes.
take philosophy classes.
It'll make you think better.
I think another thing we'll share with our guests here is that if you have kids, I learned something in a parenting class. Did you know about synaptic pruning?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, me neither. I hadn't known about it. Look it up. If you've got kids, get them environments where they learn a lot of different things. Because at a certain point, if you teach them sports, if you teach them music, if you teach them, art, all those things when they're young, their brain will keep areas that if they don't exercise them will be synaptically pruned at a certain stage of development.
Yeah, that
it's
makes
kind
sense.
of a use it or lose it
Yeah, no,
situation.
that makes sense. And
That's
probably
why these kids that do gymnastics and
Right.
do all this stuff when they're really young, they do music, all this stuff. They end up being really good at that because they actually have parts of their brain that's lost through the synaptic pruning phase.
right, and it's pretty early.
It's pretty early.
Yeah.
So get them listening to jazz, playing any kind of instrument, coloring,
Yeah, I think that's generally just good advice.
I think
as
it's
a
good
parent,
advice.
Is to, especially in early, really focus on exposure, right? Exposure to a lot of different kinds of
Yes.
ways of thinking, a lot of different ways of being, a lot of different kinds of people. I mean, I remember one of the things that we did with our kid was like we were very intentional about trying to make sure that they at an early phase not only socialize with other kids but socialize with a lot of different adults.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that many kids right now lack is a parenting style that emphasizes connecting with a lot of different kinds of adults
Well,
and having relationships with a lot of that teach them different things. Some
Right.
teaching them this thing or that thing, and it just that. And I do feel like as I watch, without being too generalized about it, kids grow up with my kid that I've seen, like the kids that were like in kid world, their whole childhood are struggling a lot more to put the world together now that they're all in middle school than the kids who had a lot more adult world in their kid world.
well, part of the Joseph Campbell's Campbell, I say Zen, his hero's journey, part of that is the older mentor.
Yeah.
Having some relationship with an adult that's not your parents.
Right.
That is able to impart. Because I think your parents, you put in a certain box, right?
Right.
It's maybe hard for you to learn or
Exactly.
there's
For
like,
good reasons. Like you're
well, you self-differentiate at a certain point.
right. And they're such a dominant influence. You've
Right.
got to break away from them.
And so it's this other person that's not of your family that mentors and guides in a healthy, wholesome way. And so that's what I hear when you're speaking about exposing alchemy to these other people to teach her different things, to other ways of life.
And I think, and I just I find it so, I mean, it's kind of like the nonsense, like DC is a cesspool of crime when crime statistics are the lowest they've ever been. Right.
Yeah.
Right now. Like I encounter a lot of parents who are like, oh, but the world is so dangerous for kids right now. Right.
It's probably the safest it's ever been.
Yeah. It's the safest it's been for kids. Right. Like this is when we should be letting them go and roam more, because like when I was a kid, but then kids died routinely.
Yeah.
We glorify the sort of Gen X drinking from the water hose, but people were getting hurt. People were getting abducted at much higher rates than they are now. So
maybe if we let them all run out there, they would start getting hurt again because all the people be like, well, there's kids.
I do wonder about that. Like,
There's kids everywhere.
Right.
I'm gonna grab a couple.
Right. That how much those are reflective of this more protective parenting stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to know. Are we protecting them more so it's happening less? And if we protected them a little bit less,
but in a context in which overall crime rates are going down and whatnot, I think it's just a safer world out there. Although we're doing a lot right now to try to make it less safe.
Heck yeah.